Hi guys! So this week we have a longer video than usual, and it's not like the speed paints we've been uploading for most of the weeks. We're actually doing a tutorial this week, so yay! And going to be how to draw faces, so I'll be going over proportions for anime style faces, and we'll be learning to draw 3 of the most common angles of faces. Now, I'd also include a link to Proko's drawing tutorials in the description because his tutorials really helped me out when I was learning to draw faces before, and I'll be referencing a lot of his tutorials, the techniques in his tutorials, but in a more anime context. And yeah, the technique kind of varied my interpretation just to make it more understandable for me. I hope you enjoy. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the central view, or the character just looking straight. So first you want to draw a circle, and you'll get frustrated trying to draw a perfect circle, and then draw lines for the halves of the circle vertically and horizontally. So kind of like divide it into 4 like a pizza. And then for the jaw, it's the same distance as half the circle as a kind of guide. So the jaw is a third of the entire head. And then draw a line for the half of the entire head, and another line where the jaw starts, kind of where it bends, because it's called it's the angle for the mandible, and it's the part where the jaw kind of goes down when you talk. And then I'll start to outline in a separate layer just so we can turn off the guidelines later to see the final product. I'm getting really particular with my lines. A really messy line work. After getting frustrated, we'll start by drawing the mouth on the line, on the bottom line. So it's the angle, the mandible. And then for the ears, the tip of the ear will meet the top line, or the line indicating the middle of the circle, and then the bottom of the ear will meet the line indicating the half of the entire face. And then the bottom of the nose will also meet on that same line, or slightly below depending on the character's features. So it's on the same level with the ears. And then for the eyebrows, I actually like to draw them slightly above the top line. Sometimes in more realistic styles, eyebrows will be on the same level with the ears, but I find that it's not always true depending on the angle of the head as well as the person's proportions. And then for the eyes, the top part of the eyes meets the topmost line. So it's on level with the ears. And I'm not going to go in depth in this video about how to draw the eyes because there's a lot of different styles for eyes. So I may do a video in the future about drawing certain styles of eyes. Yeah, just trying to get the two shapes sort of consistent and on level. And then fill in the features to make things look good. I'm not going to go too in depth in the features. And then for the hairline, draw it almost at the top of the circle. It depends on how high the hairline of the character is, but we're going with the low to medium-ish hairline here. And then draw the bangs. Of course, if your character has full bangs, the entire forehead will be obscured and it will meet the eyebrows. And then for the top of the head, I actually like to make the hair kind of rest higher than the head is supposed to be, just to add body to the hair, because if you make it like lay really flat on the base, the hair looks really limp and dead. And then just a guide, draw lines in the middle of the eye to check for neck width, and then the distance of the two eyes from each other is roughly the width of one eye. Yeah, and then drawing the neck, so it kind of starts where the middle of the eye is. Yeah, just be careful not to make the neck too thin or too long because your character is not a giraffe. Of course, if it is a giraffe, it's okay. So yeah, we did the central view in like 4 minutes or something. That was quick. And then we're going to the next view, which is 3/4 view. And I'm going to introduce a concept called side planes. So there's more about that in Proko's video if you also want to check it out. And to best illustrate the side plane, we're going to draw a box. And if you look at it from the side, that's how it usually looks, right? But if you look at this box from the front, it looks just like a square. So the same concept applies with the head. So as per usual, get the line for the middle of the circle. And then the other line from the side plane, the middle of the side plane, is actually for the angle of the tilt of the head. And from there, we'll extend the jaw. So rule of thirds again. So it's 1/3 the entire head, or roughly half the circle. It's kind of tricky to get the angle for the 3/4 view, so don't be frustrated if you don't get it right the first time. It's totally okay. Yeah, kind of getting frustrated with the jaw. And then the line I'm drawing is kind of just a rough guide, because usually you don't end up following that line anyway. Let's just adjust it to make it match the size of the first one a bit more. And then we'll start to outline, so with the jaw again. Oh, yeah, indicate the mandible and the line for the bottom of the ear. So it's the same with the central view. The bottom of the ear meets the line from the middle of the face, and then the top part of the ears and the line where the eyes and eyebrows will go. So draw your features. For the nose, you can see a bit of the bottom because the head is slightly tilted up. That's why it'll look like that. And then eyebrows still slightly on top of the upmost line, and then the eyes meeting the line. And just be careful about the eye size, because like a mistake that I myself tend to make and a lot of people tend to make is to draw one eye bigger than the other in an angle where the other eye is supposed to be smaller, but instead you drew it bigger. But if you're doing this digitally, you can transform the size or just erase. So it's not a big deal. Don't beat yourself up over it. And then draw the hairline in. And then, yeah, the top of the hair is still slightly on top of the actual base head. So there, we've drawn a 3/4 view of the head. In 4 minutes too. It wasn't so difficult really. But when drawing the head, like, don't get bothered a lot with the lines. And if you're meeting the lines or something, the lines are guidelines. So I want to stress, so it still depends on what you're drawing. And for the final part, we're going to be doing the side view. And this is the trickiest view ever. I know a lot of artists, myself included, have a hard time with side view. And first we drew the side plane. When the head is fully to the side plane is a full circle and not an oval anymore. And then since the head is slightly tilted up, we're going to draw the lines for the middles, the vertical and horizontal, slightly tilted, the angle, and then ear, the bottom of the circle actually. And then mandible, and then for the neck, there's a bit of skin underneath. Because if you observe like your neck in real life, there's a bit of skin that connects your jaw to the neck itself. Make it stretchy. Don't forget to include that. So yeah, let's just adjust it a bit to make it size. Start to draw. So the ear still meets the top line and the middle line. The ear will look bigger because it's to the side, so you can see almost everything. And then the eyebrow is still slightly above, and the eye still follow. The topmost part of the eye meets the topmost line. But if you look to the side, you can see a lot more of the nose. Oh, and with the eye, remember that the eye looks half of what it looks like at normal view, front view. You just see half of it on side view, because sometimes some people tend to draw like the whole eye and it looks a bit funky. Remember, it's half of the eye. And then you'll see a lot more of the nose compared to side and 3/4 view. The bridge of the nose will actually start on the topmost line. And the mouth still follows the mandible. And then the chin slightly juts out, depending on your character's features, but most chins jut out. So this one tends to jut out quite a bit. And then the hairline, you'll see a lot more of the forehead. Just adjusting this. And then draw the rest of the hairs slightly above the base to add body. Adjust the features. And then, yeah, just add a bit of thickness to that part with the brow, because the brow protrudes out, so it's not completely flat. And there we have it. We learned to draw three of the most common angles for heads in like 12 or 13 minutes. Yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing more tutorial videos, possibly on the features and maybe coloring with markers soon. So yeah, thanks for watching.